What you are about to learn and see and witness took me years of study. That's right, I went to the university where shoe interpretation experts taught me how to interpret a shoe. I would like to do that very thing for you right now in our brand new Wretched studio. One of the things that we discovered when we moved in is this shoe print right here. I would like to interpret it for you because I know how to do these things. Just trust me. I've studied shoe interpretation. You see, this shoe was actually worn by a fellow named Bob. Nice guy, but wow, tough tale. The story of Bob's life, pretty tragic. You see, Bob was born in Cincinnati long before they did any renovating. It's a nice town now, but back when Bob was born on a Tuesday, no wait, I think it was a Wednesday, he was born into a rather bleak Cincinnati. What made it bleak? Well, not just the economy, which was struggling a little bit on that day. The stock market was a little bit down, but he was also fatherless. You see, Bob's mom, she was a nice girl, but she made some bad decisions when she left her mom and dad's home. She ran off to the university herself. She was going to get a degree. She was going to become a nurse. She so loved to take care of people. But she met this lout. She went to a bar. She listened to her friends. Kids, let this be a cautionary tale to you. She didn't even think twice about doing something that would cause her to have a little Bob, and she did, and the father didn't even show up when little Bob was born. Didn't really affect Bob very much until he turned about 14. He decided to sign up for football, but he didn't have a dad to teach him how to throw the ball. That's when he grew bitter. He turned to drugs. His life for the next 10 years, 12 years, was a bit of a hash, no pun intended, until he met Sarah, nice girl. They fell in love. And they got married, and they had 3 kids. And it was going really, really well. Until one day, I think it was because he was eating too much Chipotle about 3 times a week, he found a lump right on the left side of his neck. Doctor told him it looks pretty good, but it wasn't. It was terminal, and Bob died, leaving the 3 kids, except for that little girl, that blonde-haired girl, the third child, who normally can be so overlooked because, well, they're the third one after all. She actually grew up to discover a cure for cancer. And her child, lo and behold, got the same form of cancer, but lived because Bob died and she discovered the cure. So there you have it, the interpretation of that shoe. And you're saying to yourself, that's pretty far-fetched. That's pretty ridiculous. So why is it we buy the interpretation of evolutionists? Todd, at least their interpretation is not quite as long. The point is, I cannot tell you anything about the person. It could have been a woman that wore the boot, that walked onto the concrete, except, no, I take that back. If it had been a woman, she would have fixed it. The point is, all I can tell you is somebody was wearing a boot that actually said Die Hard. Maybe they like Bruce Willis. I don't know what happened to the person. I don't know where the person was born. And yet, evolutionists take a look at one bone, one little fossil, and they don't just tell you what it is, put it in a textbook and say, we're going to call this an XYZ. They tell you where it was born, how it survived, what it ate, how it procreated, how many kids it had, and how it died, and how it went extinct. Nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. The only thing you can tell from a boot print is that somebody wore a boot before the concrete dried. When you look at a fossil bone of a dinosaur, all you can know is that it died. It takes an eyewitness to tell you why the dinosaurs went extinct.